because it's a lot easier and more fun to deal with afterwards. Um, I just had this is my baby. I just had a cup of coffee, and I want to put this on a stand, but I can't because it is with my. One second. I'm gonna get something else so you guys can hear me through the speaker, so I don't just like put it down. I had a few sips of coffee from my cup, so we're gonna try and make this work. Okay, so I live in a support housing, okay? And I'm not gonna go into the reasons why or how I got here or anything like that, but I am I have been psychic, and I didn't really know that I am, and didn't know that I am. I understood a lot of the things that were communicated to me from the spirit realm, but like the lesson that I got, I'm just going to talk about the lesson because this is for me in the future, just in case you need to remember. Um, like this week, I remember, but maybe like down the line, I'm not going to remember this. And what the lesson was is this week, I was asking, like, what is, you know, how you sit into meditation or you write down, like, you journal and you write down notes and lessons that you want to, you know, have or go forth with, you know, don't just like go to the next week or the following week without anything, without learning or without putting the effort to learn and open the door for others to learn as well. But it's just about others as much as about me. But my thing is, I didn't really allow other people to learn lessons. I didn't allow other people to also get anxiety and have the anxiety to be able to learn lessons. Why am I bringing that up? So, one of the things, I need to stop saying so. This is why I'm doing this live, because you can see how not editing how it looks. In case not a lot of people know, but I know there's videos out there that show um, how it looks when you don't edit versus like I know it's like a mind like a standard just because like I did a lot of marketing like high-end high quality videos with high quality edits, maybe not so much the video quality or the content, but like high quality edits. So I'm like nervous about that, and I'm used to that, and I'm used to speaking through that filter or that lens and wanting to market. But I guess this is a live, so there's no point in marketing. But this is about two things. One, the most important thing is what lesson am I bringing to the table? Am I bringing to this video for myself in the future? Um, and how like if I get anxiety in the future. And the second is how incompetent other people are towards me, and they're um, like, you know, when they don't really bring forth like how they conceptualize things that I do and things that I say and how I talk. So for example, this week I was sitting down, I'm like, what is this lesson? I've been getting a lot of anxiety from um, see, this is what happens when I drink coffee. My brain goes zzz. I've been getting a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety from just like doing my marketing, doing my work and my job, just any type of work. And I was always like questioning, like, okay, what is happening? So this week, I know this doesn't make sense. This may not make a lot of sense. So that's why it's not for you guys out there. Um, not for all of you, but mainly for me. Like this is what's happening this week, this is what's going on. I got a ton of stuff like here in my house, and it's not that it's a lot of work, but it's work that I need to like put in. I need to put in work, okay? And one of the things that I got in regards to the lesson, or not the lesson, but in regards to just lessons that I kind of need to tell myself, is I cannot do this without the spirit guides in the spirit realm. And when I mean spirit realms, is I don't go after them. I don't go. Now she's gonna start screaming because I'm talking. No, she's I don't not just ask for assistance. I don't like speak to them as much. And when I say that, yes, mommy. What is it? Come. No, I'll be quiet. She won't say anything. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna keep talking. Sorry, I need to sneeze. But the problem is, so I don't ask for help. I already said that. But I get pulled a lot. And I want to keep talking, but they want to keep talking. Right now they're talking to me, so I don't know if I have to be quiet or I have to just talk back to them or speak. But okay. I think it's the coffee. It's not helping. It's making me feel like I'm stopping. I'm not gonna do that anymore. So they keep saying things to me. Like they'll say, get up and get the skirt. Like they'll literally tell me like, go buy this skirt. Like I want to show you. And I'd be like, why? I don't like, I have so many skirts. They'd be like, go buy the fucking skirt. I'm like, okay. But the thing is, I don't talk about this stuff in my videos. I don't like this. Like this is a heart skirt, yeah, for like Valentine's Day and like February for love. And so there's the thing is with them is they'll say multiple meanings for one thing. One is about the skirt and how I need to talk about the environment. That's not related to the skirt, but it is. So for example, if there's a heart on the skirt, you talk about, for instance, how to clear your heart and how to have an open heart. But it's a skirt, it's a fabric, it's not relative. I could just say it on video. But for example, it might not catch everybody's attention unless I'm wearing this skirt that's like designer, or it has a certain type of design, right? So it won't catch anyone's attention that way. Another thing that they could do is when I grab that, like for example, when I got the skirt, I get it in different points. Sometimes I get it at the same time, but it depends, for example, what I eat. If I take like a medication, or I have a certain limit of amount of water, or like I don't have healthy meals in proper amounts and quantities. This is really bad because I've called the vet and I'm trying to see what her problem is. And I've asked them for help, so I have to wait because it's Saturday. Come here! Come here! You're doing this on my live, so you might as well come here. Come here. Come on. I don't have your toy. I'm not gonna get up and grab it right now. Okay, so so the second thing, wait. June. The second thing is that they'll say another word. For example, if I'm having these things where I didn't have a lot of food, or my anxiety is not of the level that it needs to be, that I'm normalized to, that I can actually speak and get things out, because it's like a habit for me to be on that level before I can like digest the information. It doesn't mean it's a good thing. It could be really, really unhealthy. but it's just where you're at. Like, that's how you function. Like, for example, some people function by procrastinating, and then like those who have dealt with a lot of different things in the past, a lot of chaos and just things like CPTSD. This has a lot to do with CPTSD too, which is they're trying to tell me like, don't, like, they always say don't talk about it, like don't talk about the CPTSD. Like I can talk about it from like a scientific perspective, like from a analytical perspective, like analyzing, but to not talk about it as if it's happening to me, because it's like or that it's like falling onto me, because this is what's happening when that, like I like they'll try to give a message, and then I will like literally have a block, whether it's allowing other people to come in my aura, like the energies that they had sent out. People call it evil eye. There's a lot of evil eye that had been on me in the past, like just that's all it was. Majority, it was like a thick heavy layer, and it was like deep and dense. And now, so it's like it has nothing to do with chakras. Like balancing your chakras, those things are supposed to happen naturally. But people, when they attack and they give you negative energies, um, you can get affected. And I can go into other videos about how and why, like I would get affected or someone with CPTSD would get affected. I've had multiple surgeries, so I've had physical injuries that affect your aura, and they cause chakra rips. I didn't know this until like my spiritual team like pushes me into it. Like, for example, I'll get a slap in the head, and the thing like on the back of my head being like why didn't you watch that video? Like, you shouldn't have like clicked on the next video. We asked you, like we brought up that one video I was watching about like some random thing that I didn't like, it came up, or not just that it came up, but I was given direction, for example, to watch. Or my other cats. Georgina, nah. I'm just not in a good mood with my cats right now. I just like, there's things everywhere and I feel bad. I don't want them to mess things up because it'll make a lot of noise. I don't know how I think the feedback on this one is a lot better though, because the new iPhones, I think they like, you can come this way. There's not a lot of bags. Good girl. I think the feedback is better on this phone actually, because I've done non-lives. And it doesn't pick up on the scratches, but I haven't rewatched my live, the last live that I did, because I know people complaining and like the reviews. I know I'm going off track. People complaining, and this is one of the problems, is going like wanting to be back on track, which is why I don't want to also do lives, because it's not very categorized. It's not very like structured. But hey. See, she's the one making noise. She's the one making a lot of noise. She can't be doing that. Not when I'm doing this. But so I didn't watch my last video, but when I was after I got my phone, it's the iPhone 15. I was searching a lot to see how the apps work, and the just analytics and stuff. And a lot of people said when they went live on Facebook, there was like a lot of problems with sound and with video and glitches. Like the quality was bad, so I don't know if it was just like a defective phone or they needed to reset it. See, this is the noise. That should be Angel. So with all of the things going on, for example, I wouldn't listen to them, and I would say like, oh, I don't want to listen. Like, why are you telling me about chakras? Why are you telling me about this and that? And I don't need to know this information. Like, I used to literally say to God, like, what, like, why are you giving me this information? Like, why are you telling me? Like, I would literally have Princess Diana like in my house for like a month and a half. She wouldn't sit down. Other beings would, other like powerful beings would, but like she wouldn't sit down. She'd be like right up there on the right hand side, like glaring, like fucking, not even a death stare. It's more like a what the fuck are you up to kind of thing. Almost like, I don't even know, like pushing me to do my job, but there's something off about that, what I just said, like the information that I gave. So it'll be like, I'll have this, and I gave you the information of what it could, the first thing it could mean. And then another thing is that, for example, I need to have like an open heart when I'm doing the videos, because let's say I hadn't been eating well, and that is like the antidote to that. To like for when negative energies are being sent to me, or I'm feeling a certain way, or I don't have a certain feeling, I'm just kind of like giving something off, and then it's just like it's not going back to where it came from. For example, going back to the negative entity that sent it to me, and an entity could be an actual physical being, it could be a spirit. It's a negative entity isn't just the entity on its own that is like around and gets passed around, okay? It's kind of like, and I said this I think in my last live, it's kind of like this entity that I'm talking about is not like a parasite, but it's kind of like a bug or like an infestation that starts very little. And then sometimes when people get anxiety, it's like a lot of it. There's so many different layers and levels to it, and that's why I guess it's kind of like hard for science to pick up, and that's why I think AI will do a lot better than, not necessarily people, but in regards to kind of putting all of the correlations in like organizing it a lot better. So there's a lot more, like a human being couldn't maybe pick up more than 30 like studies. I don't want to say studies, but like individuals, and I don't know what the word is, contestants, to like look through them. But like an AI looking at, let's say, like 5 different studies that were done can like kind of pick up on certain things a lot smoother or a lot easier, so that we can maybe go back and do stuff. But it's not about us. I know I'm going off track, but I'm going back to this because there was a point that I wanted to make in this video. It's only been 17 minutes. I've done pretty good. I feel like I've hit pretty much a good mark, like a good strategy in comparison to. So, the heart. What could the heart mean? So this is something, oh, I know. Okay, so sometimes when I forget, I can't listen to them because I don't like to listen to them, like what I said about the Princess Diana thing being here, and I literally hated her. Like, I'm like shifting, and she, like, when I say I'm shifting, it's more like I'm not analyzing, for example, things anymore as I used to. And this is what I mean. And I physically shifted too, which is fun. Like, this stuff is fun. But what's not fun is like conceptualizing what, like, the visions or like the visuals of what I'm getting. And it can move really fast. But essentially, this week, like, it's today's Saturday, so like the whole week I was thinking about stuff, but like Friday, I thought of this idea. I'm like, what is this lesson with this lesson that's things that's going on, this lesson that's going on, because everything happens, like even on a weekly basis, like you are given sometimes downloads, but for me, honestly, there's no downloads. Like, for me, I'm not downloads. For other spiritual beings, yes, maybe there are for sure beings that have that, but for me, it's really not downloads. For me, it's like pushing them away, pushing things away. I don't know how to describe that. So essentially, the lesson was, there's this video that I posted on my Instagram story, and I didn't, they'll give me hints, for example, not just hints, but they'll give me these, they want to say edits or whatever, but essentially this video, if I can find it, I'll put it up in here, or I'll link it. There's this pilot that was, flying a particular airplane. I forget the name of it, but it spins around, and like the pressure is, I don't know about it. I forget. I actually wonder if I can bring it up right now. But this pilot, he's like 80 or 90 something years old, and he had no problem flying this type of airplane. Now at this age versus people who were trained pilots who were younger and of different ages, and they handled it like a fucking boss, okay? And I was like, oh, cool. But the thing is, when I see, I don't want to get distracted. 1 second, I'm gonna find that in a sec. So the thing is that this is the second time I'm actually explaining something that they said to me, and I'd say I don't want to listen to what this is. I don't want to listen to this, like, you get giving me skirts and like the parts on it, like why are you making me buy it? So then I would get things like this video, which hopefully, I don't know if I can pause this, or like, I don't know if I can edit the video without downloading, but I want to see if I can find the archive on my stories. Okay. So there's this pilot that I told you, and what they're trying to show me. Stop. Give me like 15 minutes. I'll be down there. And Mommy, come here. You know what? I'm gonna help you out. Give me a second. And you know what? I'm gonna find this video while I go get her toy so that she can get some attention. I know she'll have to go to the doctor's because I don't know if this is her food as well. Come here. I also can't sit in that position for that long. Excuse me. Which causes me problems. Okay. Come here. Do you want Beth? Come here. Where's your other toy? Where's your toy? Oh. Okay, we'll do this one because I don't know where the other one is. Okay. So I'm gonna find this video and watch her eat. Got it. Okay. So here's the reel. I'm just gonna pause it until she eats. Okay, you done? Okay, so here's a reel that says normal people experiencing G-force versus a World War II veteran, okay? So we're gonna replay it. So this is normal people. So I asked about, like, why don't, like, how come other people can't do these things? Like, how come other people can't be spiritual and, like, why are you coming to me? Like, what does it mean? Okay? Like, why just
World War II pilot takes to the
other
skies
people
yet
can
again.
do
He's
what I can
96
do?
years young, so climbing
That's
into the
what I
cockpit of a
said.
World War II plane can be a little bit of a challenge. It's been decades since Bob was in a plane like that, but during World War II, he flew them all the time.
But this is like a bad like ability to do these things. Like like when I say bad, like there's another word for it. I don't want to say badass, but like it's like a deeper like I don't know how to describe it. Like this guy is like, how old is he? It didn't say on here. But he's a World War II veteran. He can do things that others can't. I'm going off like it's like Bob during World War II, he flew. I want to try and get his age. Why do I say when I say bad? It's like bad. I don't know, like I keep wanting to show it. There's something that's gonna come up when I show this. I think this one's for you guys. I can't move it. I used to be able to. So they're falling off and dozing off. Okay. And these are like trains. I don't know why they got a kid on there.
World War II pilot takes to the skies yet again. He's 96 years
96.
young, so climbing into the cockpit of a World War II plane can be a little bit of a challenge. It's been decades.
So they're like one thing that they just showed me that's not very significant. Actually, they want me to just hear it, not say this right now, but just think it. Okay. I can't do what others can do, meaning I cannot do what others can do. So, I cannot have CPTSD, like I can't have CPTSD and be healing. I don't know how to explain that. But they can. Spirit can. Spirit can tell me what to say. That makes sense. Like, I will not have the ability, this is just one aspect, obviously. Like, it's not like full thing. Or maybe it is, whatnot. But this is what I mean about jittery and coffee, but I also need it to like not fall asleep and not feel like drowning. But I cannot have what other people have, which is like healing and a healthy analytical availability. They're saying availability. So the lesson this week was, which I got there from that, which I was like, okay, I have the ability to do certain things, or like basically they're saying I'm that 96-year-old guy, or me particularly, that they're coming to me. But the lesson this week wasn't about the flight thing, which they didn't really want me to include so much in the introduction of this video, even though we're 30 minutes in, almost 29 minutes in. It's about the fact that Cheryl didn't do anything right. She didn't. She literally did not. She, like, I don't know if she physically ripped up or whatever, but like she ripped up my service requests and I'd get like or deleted it however she did it and put it in the garbage. But like I like was without any help. Like I was without any kind of assistance, okay? And then I'm like, but why is this like why is this causing me anxiety? Like why is this happening? Why is this situation arising? And they're trying to tell me like the reason, like, so, and this is the heart thing that comes up where they talked about the heart. The reason is that I loved her even though she was doing those things. Like, I gave her love even though she was doing those things. Not just in the beginning, like, mostly in the beginning. But there's a point where spirit does not get involved. Um, as in, it's like, it's, it's not even there's so many different like aspects to this, but it's not even that it's what do you call it when humans have I can't remember the word, and it's being blocked on purpose, not by my spirit guides but by another block that could be my own um part of my own past and history and childhood and the bad negative stuff happening to me. So it's like a psychologist once said, like, people who experience narcissistic abuse or went through narcissism, whether I had a little bit of it from receiving it or from receiving it from other people, and like mirroring them and reflecting it back onto them, or the anxiety that they caused me, and then like you question yourself and uh, thank you. I already know this, but it's just like you know stuff, but like it can't come out. Like that's where the part where I can't talk about the CPTSD so much in regards to myself and my sense, because then it's like not only is it being blocked from the outside, because I was getting a lot of negativity and evil eye and like anxiety put on me and like a lot of fear put on me, but now that that's gone and it's cleared, or I've cleared that until whatever the next year. I don't think I'm ever going to get that ever again. It's not like ever going to come back, like never. But it's now me, right? So it's like that might be gone, like the situation, like a thing hits you, that thing might be gone, but now you're kind of like toval mizane, we say in Farsi, so it's like bruised, or like that feeling of like it's like pumping, like it's not even a pressure. So that's me now. So like if I can't talk about it, because then it's like I I have to only like allow spirit to come in and do all the things. So that includes me talking about whatever items of like fashion and clothing. Like one of the fashion things is that I don't want fast fashion and all these like fabrics and whatever tops, or like a lot of jeans and pants are being thrown in to the garbage or landfill or whatever that they're doing, that's not being recycled. And spirit is telling me to buy these things, which at first, whatever, people might think ironic, but I'm not even going to talk about that. But it's like to show me, to show, not show me, because I already know, like they already know how to help the, like that I know how to help the environment and how to like assist in with the environment, assist the environment, not with the environment, but assist the environment as it's a person. It's like Mother Nature. It's a mother. It's Earth. It's a being. It's like I don't want to just say nature, but it's a natural part of our Earth. Okay, it's not just like rocks and gems and jewels and cool stuff like that. And these gems, it's also uh, things that we're not doing to make this stop. I'm like actually really gonna get mad today because I'm just like she won't stop, like just randomly like doing these things. But I have no problem now like being a bitch about things. I have no problem being a bitch about like I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna show you how to maybe like alter it and change the seam so that you can like buy, like if it's a business, you can buy like bulk from a factory or like a company that's like overstocked, or like they don't want their stock, or stop, um, or they're like low on stock on certain things because in the future it might happen, or not even just in the future, but like they'll need certain things. And then people maybe need the creativity, which Spirit does these things for you, where they'll use psychics, or not use psychics, but like um, they'll come in the form of psychics, and they'll like speak in a creative sense. Say like you'll get whatever stock from another business. So, for example, just say Aritzia or whatever company that doesn't have partnerships for like repurposing items, and they need to do that in order to help save certain like just even help save fashion, because fashion is the bit one of the biggest things like across time. Like you've always had fashion. It's not like it's same with water or anything. It's not like it's something that's always going to be around, and it's always going to be with like I don't know how to say it. Like you're never going to wear a box to work. Like it's always going to be the same, right? Like maybe homes have changed or cars have changed, but like at the end of the day, we always use certain fabrics or certain materials that you can like crafty stuff to create, so that we can wear or sell, or like as a business, like entrepreneurs who are, sorry, not just entrepreneurs, but like e-commerce, or any kind of commerce, they can kind of like sell those things. It's also a part of economics, right? um, the industry of like buying and like selling. Like food has changed a lot, right? Food has gone onto like chips used to be natural, and like people would cut it and make chips, but now it's like produced. So like chips could maybe go to waste a lot easier versus like garments or anything like that. And I don't know the process of anything as much as like more than what I've already have information on and like have researched and like looked into. But like these companies can, like these small, like it's the different tiers, right? The small businesses can go to a company and buy their stock, like their stock very cheap, like low stock, and they'll like recreate it into something that is not just resold at a cheap price, or not resold in a weird way, where like sometimes you got these like fast fashion stuff where it's like leggings that are like just nobody will ever wear, but they still have them out, but because it's been ripped up, or it's at a certain style, people won't buy again, like as in like if it's certain type of fabrics, companies might buy that out and then create something with it. But what Spirit is trying to say is find different creative ways, for me to use, for example, to share that information so people will buy. Like there was this girl I found in a business e-commerce channel, and she was talking about her YouTube business, or her YouTube subscribers subscribing to her for her smoothie bowls, okay? But she was in this conference, and she was like a speaker, like sitting down, and like there was like a big um, like screen behind her, and she said God spoke through me. And I'm not talking about God for me, by the way. I'm not talking about God for psychics or me, Paria, personally. I'm talking about her. But she said God spoke through me and said how you can reach the audience is through smoothie bowls, and she didn't understand. And so for me, I didn't understand for a long time that like God was trying to tell me, and I'm not saying God because I am God, you are God, like our God is inside of us, but it's like you haven't unlocked it, okay? Because we are the create, like we create, okay? That's another thing with creating your own fabrics and your own re flipping vintage clothing. For example, if you're an individual and you want to go through like vintage stuff, but I'm talking about specifically businesses and corporations and like fashion industry or any other kind of industry that can like cross over and help each other. Like I've been really, really, really good at one thing growing up throughout whatever industry that I worked at. I worked in dentistry. I worked in education, teaching ESL, um, educating kids on other things, as well as tutor, being a tutor, not just a teacher, but like also I was a student of various things where I actually signed up to go to university for psychology and other areas because there's just so many things that overlap. And also like I worked in as an international cultural uh, I'll get into it another day, Isaac. But I've done a lot of things, but I always found that I was really good at kind of cross connecting or cross relating things. So like researching one topic, but then like going in a completely different medium and finding that those things connect. They don't just overlap, but like they could they are of support to each other. But maybe my goal, my thing has always been growing up, whether it was like spiritual or not, that I'd connect people or I'd connect industries in different levels, okay, that help each other and they're a good like match. It's sometimes like kind of opposites attract type of thing, but it's not just about attraction, but it's about like in a business sense, in a business like dynamic, where like people can analyze things from a completely different perspective. Like a lot of business people from Silicon Valley were saying like they were taking like psychedelics that helped them. That's so irrelevant maybe to business from in the introduction of the like talk or the article, but then once you get into it you realize, oh, like we're all humans and our brains work in different ways, so that like that helps us like alter that part of the brain to be more creative so that we can have more like efficiency and be go more into the future versus like initially if you think psychedelics you think like this is I'm talking about before, I'm not talking about now, like in today's age, like 2023, 2024. But even in 2023 a lot of people you tell like older generations or generations that have had corporate jobs and stuff, like they wouldn't understand, um, but all those people are parts of the dot. It doesn't mean they're relevant or they're doing anything with it, but what I'm saying is in the beginning, it'll be like, oh, like potheads, you mean? Like those are the ones who have like, uh, I forget, marijuana, or like people who go to ayahuasca retreats for like, you know, in the rainforest and do meditation. That those might be completely different things, but they're essentially like they don't overlap, but they like the psychedelic is the one covering the actual formation, like the industry um, and the industrial part, because without this like this could keep going, but it could just be, it's like sometimes you make buildings in the wrong area and then find out like 50 years later that somebody didn't do their research or didn't have an idea, there wasn't a psychic around, or they didn't look into psychics, and then there's like some well right like underneath the building that like is not supposed to have been built on, or it's not supposed to be unaccessible, like things like this, things like where you have no idea how things work, but like we're not using spirituality to get to those like end results, if that makes sense. See, this is why I don't like it, like what I mean about things not being structured when I'm like talking about what I started the video on versus where I'm going, but at least I'm talking about it, but it's not properly categorized, so there's not going to be probably timestamps, I don't know, but I wish to do timestamps on my videos and categorize them and have better structure. But given my circumstances, I can't. I mean, I can, but it's just a lot. I can't say I can't. It's a lot on my mindset, and I'd have to do a lot of editing and I just don't have the work uh, availability to do that stuff right now. So talking about structure before I go back to what I said about Cheryl and spirituality to end the video is that it's not that Cheryl's not a bad person. She's not a bad individual. It's just it's about what my availabilities are in terms of like I'm not able to analyze things, but I can like I'm not able to analyze things in the sense of like um in an analytical way. I don't know how to say it. But finishing like ending what I said about the business aspect, it's like without psychics, and I don't want to say without psychics because there is a level where like not there's only specific individuals that can do these things, and this involves not having CPTSD. um, it involves not having um, there's another thing, not having articles, if that makes sense. Like I don't know, I kind of want to leave it at that because if that even makes sense. So I'm gonna go back to the Cheryl thing. Maybe on another in the next video I'll go back to what I just said in regards to the word articles, or like about articles being written. So the last thing, hi, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Give me a second. She sneezed again. Give me a second. I'll play with you. Give me like 10 minutes or more. Now she's quiet. So the ending here was that I don't have the heart anymore to react or rely. No, there's another word in between. I don't have the heart anymore to rely on coldness, um, because it's just not me. It's not how I was structured to be. Like it's not how I was like not created, but directed. And so by directed, I mean like spirit would be like right here and tell me, like, for example, not to do this, or not to go around in this area, or not to, so for example, I'm not her where spirit could tell me like not to take something off of, like take a sticker off of people's doors. Like it's something Cheryl does, or her higher up, her management. I don't do that. And I know people do different things because I always ask them. I was like, yeah, but people do different things. Like somebody could be in this area, they could do this. And they said, no, like you can't do that. Like you, like the reason that guy wasn't able to fall asleep or kind of go in a, I don't know, I don't forget, in a coma or whatever in the G something, the Air Force thing, it's because he literally can't. It's called the G Force. In the G Force airplane, he literally can't. He doesn't like. It's just something moves in like from within them, that within him, that just like it's like a structure. I want to say it a different way. I want to end it on the right note, on a proper note. So it's like I can't do that because I don't have the heart to hurt people. Like I don't have the heart to be healing. It's like a few things. I don't have the heart to be healing other people. Okay? So it's like I only can show the truth. Like like but I guess what they're trying to say when they kept saying the word bad, this is kind of like going around on the surface area. This is the surface layer of this, is that he just can't, like, he doesn't have the heart to be like or like fall asleep. But it's not about the G-force thing. It's about my ability to be spiritual, that they tell me what to do. I don't ask my guides for certain like specific things. Like I'll be the like they will force me into a situation, and hence a lot of it is me. It's my higher self and my future self, and I have put myself into this position. It's been pre-planned, not in the past but in the future, and in the higher realm, like in the overview of things. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's not a contract that you walked in this earth to do. Okay? There's a certain thing where, like, let's say you haven't learned a lesson, you haven't accomplished a mission or like a project. Okay? You haven't accomplished a project. And so I'd put myself in this situation, in this dynamic, so that, let's say, I would shut up in this situation versus when I don't shut up. And it's not that I don't shut up, it's that the spiritual gang or various, I don't want to say realms, because essentially realms is different layers of things. So in the earth, there's different like creatures or beings. They're not spiritual, they're real beings. There's a cartoon that I watched a long time, not a long time ago, but like a little while ago, and it was like this dad and his son that went inside something, and it was like the earth, because like it was a cartoon movie, and their like crops were dying or something, or it was being poisoned. But this guy and his son, his dad, he ended up finding his dad in that place that he went to save the movie starts with like the dad's dad, so like the grandfather and the dad, um hiking in this like cold thing, like cold mountain, and the grandfather is trying to find, at the time, dad, because there's no son. There's a grandfather, there's the son, or the dad and the son. So they're all dads except for the son. But it's just, this is how I was structuring it without saying it right. And in the beginning of the movie, the middle guy, so the grandfather's son, so the dad of this son, the dad said, "No, I don't want to go do that. I'm tired of doing this." They were in like a Boy Scout thing. And then the grandfather's like, "Okay, fine, bye, I'll do it." And he hadn't seen his grandfather or his dad. The little boy hadn't met his grandfather, but he hadn't seen his dad in years until they fell into Stitch thing. And like, and they thought he was dead. But meanwhile, he was there the whole time underneath, and it was like this completely different world. But at the end of it, and near the end of the movie, all these things that were like, for example, doing what they were doing, it's kind of like your body, your system is trying to like attack like the viruses, even though the viruses are not bad, in a different realm or in a different way. Like if those things were in the soil that were not affecting plants, they were fine. There's certain things that are not good at all, but everything is of a creation. But that's not the point of the topic. There are some things that shouldn't exist, for sure. Like they're not allowed to be here. But it's been of a creation from either humans or from other planets, or from other, definitely from other planets, but from just like them forming into something. Like I don't know if it's called a mutation or whatever. But my what I'm trying to get to is, at the end of the movie, they saw that this whole thing that they were inside of, or like couldn't see the overview of it. And this is why I always say movies are real. Everything is real. So don't watch things that you don't want. And that's why trigger warnings are also very important, because someone who doesn't have rips or cuts in their aura, or doesn't have like an accounting of things that have a history of stuff, won't be affected as much as somebody who did. Whether they realize it on a conscious level or not, will hit their subconscious level, and then it'll cause them nightmares and stuff, whether it's on that day or like later on. And I've had this happen. I watched the movie with somebody and I was high a little bit, and I wasn't even fully high, and like it still to this day it causes me like I want to vomit. Um, and it may have been related to my past life, or maybe I have my CPTSD, but I know for sure it's related to my past life. And because I'm aware, or not because I'm aware, but because they tell me, and the spirit like shows me things and reveals stuff, there's a lot of revealing that's happening and has happened in the past, that I'm just like, okay, yo, like I'm not that guy from the G-force. Like I can't just like take on all this stuff. I can't just take on all this heavy stuff. So, but the thing is, the goal of when I'm not the end of this video, but like before I get to the end, is that they saw this whole thing and it was like Earth, like their Earth in the movie. And this is a real, I'm sorry, I did say 10 minutes. And so essentially what's happening is that they were killing this Earth. They were killing this being. They were killing this life force, this energy, um, this earthly nature, okay? There's another word they want me to say it. But they're killing this energy of kind of like nature and their environment, which is also like essentially what they're trying to get into is that there's different levels of beings, yeah. So our Earth, I'm talking about the one where you're watching a video, you have a cell phone, you have a laptop, okay, and I'm a being, like I am, on Earth, and I'm not on the other realm talking to other beings in spiritual realms. I'm okay, as in like I'm here. I'm not, the tables are not, I'm not 180 where I'm on the other side and they're talking to whoever, whichever psychic or whichever earth thing, whether it's a plant or nature or me. Okay? So, and then there's different levels. So like you come up and then there's different things. There's different animals and there's different spiritualities happening in that part of physical earth, that this is just like the deeper you go, the more expanded it gets. Okay, it's not always the higher you go, the more expanded it gets. And the physical realm, no, I'm not talking about just the 3D, like even below Earth, like kind of where devils and demons and hell is, and like, oh yes, mommy, and all of that. There's different beings, okay, and then when you get higher, it's like it's natural, it's nature. Okay, things happen in nature and things happen that are natural. Okay, so below Earth, supernatural. Above Earth, a different type of supernatural. But Earth is like natural, and we're not allowing, like, it's like these beings are, these the spirits are coming and they're like attacking, and for me in a good way. For others, I'm not talking about other people right now. Like, I can, and one day I will go into other people's, like doing psychic things for other people, like detective work or forensics or any kind of like police work or anything else, even like buildings and like architecture and stuff. But that's like fun stuff. But it's so irrelevant to the environment. It's so irrelevant to the environment of just our planet. Like I keep I don't want to repeat the same thing. I want to say another word. So essentially, one other thing, that the next thing they want me to get to is in that movie, there's these bird things attacking. I forget if they were attacking the people or they were attacking something, but essentially what they were doing with those attacking is they were just trying to save. They were a part of the body of that, when they were like driving that airplane ship thing, or I forget what it was, what vehicle they used, but like they were being attacked. But that little like blob thing that was like trying to talk to the guy and trying to do all those kind of things, like it's funny, those things are real. Like when I see spirit, there's blobs. Like I had blue, for example, a year, almost a year ago, a blue which looked like a blob, not that blob in the video because I hadn't seen the movie at that time, I don't think anyway. there's a blob, but this blob was like so like smack you in the head, similar to that blob actually. Now that I think about it, and it would be the throat chakra, and it would try. I just called it blue. It was more of a male, like a boy, but it was to open the throat chakra, and for me, I don't know if it's the same blob for everybody else, but like a lot of it is a creation that people like individuals don't see. And those birds were not trying to harm the people. They were trying to stop these things from happening. They were trying to stop these people who knew better, or who were natural. They weren't supernatural. They were natural. They were naturally reacting. Like I'm for example naturally reacting. Can you stop going here? Come on this side, because you're gonna knock it off, knock it over. They were being natural. Like for example, I'm naturally reacting, not just reacting, but I'm naturally responding to Cheryl and what she's been doing, versus like I can't do that. I can't analyze, right? Like analyzing is like what they would have done in the movie, in the cartoon, of let's see what's happening, let's map out and like look at the history of this thing. Okay, I can't do that. So most people can, though. Most people can do that. People say they can't, but they can. Most people are very good at doing that, which is why they kind of say people are reading people and they study their patterns. And a lot of times, almost for certain, 100% of times, they attack them. They would attack these individuals, okay? So they can analyze it and they can study their patterns. And Robert Greene actually said that. Side story, I actually had lunch with Robert Greene, not knowing he was Robert Greene, or knowing who he was. It happened to be a lot, actually. Like, Ty Lopez used to follow me for almost 3 years, like 2 and a bit years, 3 years, when I used to live with my dad, like way before COVID. And I didn't even know the whole, like, Ty Lopez thing. Like, he sent me a message about an Instagram post that I reposted about, like, a wheel, but like now everybody, not everybody knows people. What I'm trying to say is that like I had a friend named Hamdem who got his book signed, or like got a picture or an interview. I don't know. There was like a green screen there. Funny, his name is Robert Greene, but he was with his wife at the time. It was like Asian lady. I think she was Asian, and I did not give two shits. But like now I watched one of his videos that came up, and he looks very, very old now. Very, very different. Um, but it was at a Tony Robbins event that I went to. But at the time, I just wasn't able to like understand these things. I wasn't able to understand about personalities and personal stuff. And the book that he was reading, that Hamdam had, was like the 48 Laws of Power or something. I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with that. Like in my head, that's what I was thinking. But now I'm thinking like Robert Greene is saying the same thing. Like people study patterns. Like they'll study how like these individuals is not just the weakness, but like their like how they respond and react to things, like how they'll react to like a certain event or stimuli. And he also said something that I really liked today, that people judge appearances, and that's one of the reasons I never really wanted to wear a lot of like look really high class and high quality on my videos, because I just didn't want it to, like, I personally felt and still feel that it's an aesthetic thing. Okay, like it's like persona. There's a lot of different things that go into it, where you feel good and you dress well and you just want to put makeup because you want to look natural, or all these different reasons. But for me, it was mainly because of that, and also because it just takes a while to put makeup on. But I always felt like screaming and crying when I put makeup on, so I was just like, no, I don't need to. And I know there's a lot of reasons. That's why I kind of like, I think going to the fashion, like if there's a reason why you're doing it, not just to cover up and look pretty and look like whatever style you want to look, like gangster or whatever. I feel like I'm running out of energy. I need to end this video soon. I want to end this video soon, but they don't want me to, and I'm running out of battery too, so I have to charge if they don't want me to. Okay. I'm gonna shift my legs. So essentially, these little birds or these beings were not doing any harm. At a point, it can become harm, where when the natural interferes with the supernatural. And when I say supernatural, I'm saying below. I'm not talking about above, because angels are fucked up. I'm telling you, angels are fucking. And I haven't fully been to the highest realm being because I just don't want to. I can't. I know I'm a devil, as in like I. Okay. I know I'm a devil and a demon, but it's just like this right now. Like I own um demons, and like I'm very much demonic. And in this realm, it's like it's healthy to be that way, because you do not want angels interfering with this stuff, because angels will screw you up. They're fucked up. They're really bad. They are really, really mean. Because one, I can go into it later on. Not, it's not that I'm against them or not. I'm trying to like I'm trying to realize different levels and different realms. And then God is not really like a god. It's just like I am God. Like people are God. They just haven't unlocked it. And so like maybe on the other side it'll be different. So like for example, one quick example of how I can show this is like ice and clouds and rain and ocean water and water. They're of different aspects of the same thing, if there's a different word. Um, I need to learn more vocabulary in regards to this to describe this, but essentially it's like it's going back to the earth thing, and like for example in the movie, is that that thing is a living being. It's living and it's actually dying now. And it's been dying. It's not going to die, but it in order to get there, I need to do these things. I need to be the psychic. But yeah, I basically need to be the psychic. And it's not, and by being psychic is like, for example, I'll look at fairies. I won't go, like now I rule the fairy world too because they're of the lower realm. So I will tell them like, hey, you can't be doing things on the earth realm. This is what's healthy, and you tell them and they'll do it. With fairies, anybody can tell them. With demons, not everybody can tell them. I can tell them only. And I'm saying only I can tell them, like only. Uh, like for example, if a demon tells you or somebody, we'll just start with me. If a demon tells me to do something, I'm not worried because it's all truth. Like I tell the truth, and I have to be the truth. I have to be truth. Okay? There might be things with analyzing that could be going on, like analytical part stuff that's going on that's wrong and like maybe bad. But like I'm like I'm not telling the truth is equating to not telling devils what to do. And by that, it's just like, for example, the devil came up when I had the sticker of 6 at the door, and I had no idea what was going on, and I didn't tell the devil or anything like that. But then that's how it all started, where I was just literally telling it what to do. And there's a part of us that have like aspects to it, like there's parts of us that reflect off and may take on the look of a devil, or may take on the demonic, like with the horns and stuff. Like if you are visual and you do visually like communicate, or not just communicate, but like yeah, you do visually I don't know what the word is. However, I'm not telling the devil what to do out of nowhere, as in out of no context. Okay? So the other thing, which I hope is the last thing, but they want to keep going, and I don't want to edit this video because it's like a long video, a long ass video. Um, Another thing is that I have the ability to go into lower realms, and I gave you the explanation of the realms, right? Like the cartoon with the movie with the dad, the guy going in. Um, and so like another realm could be, like I mentioned, the fairy realm. Okay, they're more higher up, and it's not about them being higher up that other people, other humans can communicate with them, and kind of get interaction back. Like the devil wouldn't really, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not like the devil wouldn't do what fairies do. And for example, dolphins and whales, which we see, wouldn't do what fairies do, or wouldn't do what sharks do or humans do. So that's what I'm getting at, right? Um, and then you go higher up. I mean, I'm obviously like there's levels, as I'm saying. And think of it as just a building. That's all it is. Realms are different buildings, and realm is a level like floor one. There's different floors. Okay, the higher the floor goes, the more powerful in the sense of. I actually don't even want to get into this right now because it's like it's not like a good like that's not a good thing. There is okay, I'm gonna go back to the devil. So the devil, for example, would tell me like certain like would give me certain tasks. Okay? And this task is also initiated from a higher spiritual, you could call it whatever. And they're not giving me I'm not getting able to think of a word right now. You could call it gang a team. I keep getting analyzer or analyzing. So it's like I'll get the spiritual knowledge. And it's not a knowledge because everything's here. Like it's like there's another being, like a human. Like you have all the senses, right? So for me I'd be like, "Hey, yo, what's up?" But I wouldn't ask them. Like I wouldn't go. Whereas the devil would I'd be like, "Yo, do this." Or like, "I don't like you. What are we going to do about it? What are the tasks that we need to do to like figure this situation out?" But it's all based on truth. Okay. The tasks part is there for the situation. And then this realm, which where they're all in the same building, okay? But they have to communicate with me, which I don't ask them to. Like I don't speak to them. But they come in, or not just come in, but they'll be like, for example, I said, "Smack me in the back of the head." That one was like not that one, but like some of them are an ancestor. A lot of it is me, okay, in different parts. Like once you heal yourself, you see that it's outside of you. It's not that part of you. It's that outside spirit. Okay? It's not like it's different from if I were to like have a friend's someone who passed and then like I can see the ghost and like I will relay the message to the friend, and then whether or not like whatever information I give them and they give me is like not like it's a ghost. It's a completely different thing. It's like it's a ghost versus like I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about spirit and spirituality and like them coming in and saying, for example, uh and the sky, this is not even a good example, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The sky has this kind of toxic stuff in it, and I may not know because I'm not doing research, but they'll tell me to go in and like they'll give me a task about that people will actually see later on and very soon, and they will be able to view it and recognize, oh, that's what's happening. But like I don't what I'm trying to say is they'll come to me and they'll tell me stuff. Like they'll tell me projects to do and their project and how they're trying to do things, and they'll tell me how they're um maybe that's what they're saying about analyzing, how they're analyzing not the situation as on humans, but the situation that may not even like be created by humans. Like the air thing in the sky might be created by humans, but like they'll tell me like this is what's happening for this. But majority of the time I'm like, what the heck? I don't fucking care. Fuck off. That's the thing with me. They'll be like, fuck off. Or I'll be like, fuck off. And so I kind of want to end the thing here because I'm so tired. And it's just not that I'm so tired, but it's just this will be in the end. Bye. This is the end, and I will post this, and yeah, and whatnot. Okay. The end for today.